Pep, your team's on a very good run of results in the Premier League. Is that something you're obviously happy with, but reasons behind it?
Yeah, of course. It's nice always when you win, you try to continue.
Yeah, and is there a particular reason why you've suddenly got this good rhythm?
The players.
Simple as that?
No more secrets, no.
Yeah. Now you've picked a team. I'm struggling to understand exactly who's going to play where tonight. I don't know how much you want to tell me, but you have three centre-halves. So is one playing right back, or will you change the shape?
You will see it, but Kyle had a problem this morning, he's sick, and Joao is suspended, so we don't have another alternative, and we adapt the way we're going to play. It depends on the way, the quality, the players we have.
Right. So it's a late change that you've been forced to make.
Yeah, it was this morning. Yeah.
Okay. I hope obviously it's nothing too serious with
No,
with
definitely.
Kyle.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously a start now for Kevin and for Phil, who've waited a little bit to get a start in the team, I think.
But Kevin a little bit after COVID. He played the last game's minutes, but he come back, the rhythm, and the best test to prove himself is today for the intensity, the quality, the opponent that we are going to face. And Phil, Everton game had a tough injury in the ankle and have niggles, but it's getting better the last games, and we need today players with his specific quality.
Well, the frightening thing for the rest of the Premier League, Karen, is if Kevin De Bruyne finds his rhythm and gets more minutes, really.
Scary, it really is. But that's what I said earlier. I think they should have scored a lot more goals, all their XGs, even though they've been doing well. I think it's down to him. I just think he just gives them that confidence, that impetus, that through ball, that precision, that leadership as well. But yeah, it is frightening if he can really find form in the way they're in at the moment.
And he just needs games to do that, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, and there's a lot of games coming up thick and fast, and I'm sure just being interesting to see how they manage him. They don't want to push him too soon, too much, just because of the way the games are, and also because of now the situation that we're in. Recovery strategies are going to be reduced, so it'd just be interesting to see how they manage him and make sure they've got him for the rest of the season, not just for a bit partner.
Yeah, that's really important what Karen's saying there, because I mean, Kevin's no fool. He's been in the Premier League for a long time now. You know, the early part of the season, yes, you want to stamp your authority, you want to play all of the time. But when the medals start getting dished out, it's towards the end of the season, you know, and he needs to prove himself now. They all want to play in the biggest games. The biggest games are the head-to-heads in the Premier League, which I mentioned before, and the Champions League. Now, they want to be part of that. We talked about doing it in training and also need to show the manager. He's not played for a long time. He's not got a great rhythm going at the moment, De Bruyne, but we know what a great professional he is, what a good leader and example he is for the younger players there, of which there's quite a few coming through the squads now. But I've got my fingers crossed both for Pep Guardiola tonight and for Jack Grealish, and I hope that they get that connection, and I think he gets on the score.
Let's get into this with Jack Grealish. I mean, you've worked first-hand with him, you know him very well. Have you any doubt that he's going to be a star in this Manchester City team?
No doubt whatsoever. I think he needs to start running a lot more without the ball. Sometimes when you've got the likes of De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, sometimes you get on your bike, you run, and the ball finds you in dangerous areas. And I think Raheem Sterling found that, didn't he? It took a time, but everyone was questioning Raheem's end product when he left Liverpool and went to Man City. All of a sudden, Pep developed him into this goal-scoring machine. And he finds himself at the back post time and time again, tapping the ball into net, getting the headlines the next day. Everyone loves the headlines. Everyone loves to score the goals. Jack has to be more selfish with that. But I think he's going to get more opportunities to score if he's not always running with the ball. You can't always be a picture-perfect goal. You know, when Jack's taking it on the front foot, playing 1-2s, 6 or 7 passes, then tapping it into the net. We've seen him score one at the back post when it hits him off the shin. He needs to score more scruffy goals like that, and he will get the chances because he's got the players who will find him in the dangerous positions. Sometimes you just need to take off and let the ball find you, and I think he'll learn that. He's a quick learner. This is a Mensa footballer brain.
Have you ever experienced that, where you've been in one team getting a lot of the ball, and you've joined another club where you don't get as much?
Well, yeah, I was at Birmingham, then moved to Arsenal, and I guess I was liking that when Jack was at Aston Villa, he's running with the ball and actually getting fouled at the latter part. So actually, how good was his end product at Villa at times? I know he got high assists, but even for his own goals, and he doesn't have to do that anymore. He can pass it, release it, and get on, as you say, get on his bike because.
Is that a difficult sea change as a player?
Yeah, it is, because at Villa everything would have been put on him, the onus to get him the ball, and he was captain, and that's what you want to feel and what you kind of need. And then you actually go to another club and actually other people can do what you do, so you've got an expectation. So how do you manage that and actually then still bring the version of you while they signed you, but then adapt your game that actually I can improve and I don't need to do all those. I mean, look at Ronaldo. I think he's an example of dribble, and actually he's like, no, I'm going to be more productive in the right areas, and I think that's what Jack needs to do. Times you just slow it down at City. At Villa, we needed to do that to get the team high up at the pitch. Well, he doesn't need to do that at City. Release it a little bit quicker and get in those areas where you're going to get goals.
OK, fascinating. We'll keep a close eye on Jack Grealish and our main game of the evening, of course, this evening. But they have kicked off at Carrow Road. That one, 15 minutes.
Had good results against this team last season. Does that give you cause for hope tonight?
Tuviste buenos resultados contra este equipo la temporada pasada, que si eso le da esperanza.
Bueno, cada partido es una historia diferente.
Every game is a different story.
En los partidos anteriores llegamos a cada partido lo enfrentamos con la ilusión de jugar, de merecer puntos.
Every game we play with the hope to deserve points.
Did you deserve more on Saturday?
Que si merecimos más el sábado.
Bueno, el resultado que más coincide con el trámite hubiera sido el empate.
The result that coincides with how the game went would have been a draw.
Now you're missing a number of important players at the moment. Is that a big problem for you?
Que hacen falta muchos jugadores importantes, que si eso es un problema para usted.
A todos los equipos durante la competencia sufren ausencias.
All teams throughout the competition suffer absences.
Por supuesto que desearíamos que no tener tantos jugadores ausentes y de tenerlos no en los mismos en posiciones similares.
Of course, we would like not to have so many absentees, and especially not in the same or around the same position.
You remember no Cooper, no Phillips, no Bamford. A lot on the shoulders again of Rafinha. Leeds have scored 17 Premier League goals this season. He has 7 of them. They'll be wrapping him in cotton wool, won't they, at the moment?
Yeah, look, he's the star man, as you said, without Bamford in the team. But I'd be interested to see tonight, you know, Zinchenko's probably not naturally defensively minded, and Stone's not a right back. Where will he play, and will he kind of go from wing to wing and really try and exploit those wide areas? But he's been in phenomenal form. They're relying on him heavily, and as you said, they need to look after him. But this is where he's been at his best.
Leeds fans won't thank me for asking you this, Tim, but would the fear be, whether it's January or the end of the season, Leeds actually keeping hold of this fact?
Absolutely, he wouldn't look out of place in a Man City shirt tonight.
Really, is that good for you?
I think he's got that quality. You know, he's doing this with a group of, you know, average at best players, isn't he? You know, at Leeds. But we're amongst world-class players. You know, you can only get better. Makes the job easier for you when you've got people to lend the ball and get the ball back. And I'm sure all the top teams around the world have got their eye on this kid. You know, Leeds would want to keep him. I think Leeds have been good to him. They give him the opportunity to shop window himself. But he certainly is the jewel in the crown for them.
I think as well that penalty at Chelsea, stepping up, big moments, calm, that's what you want, big players, and he's got that in abundance, and I think that's a key trait that I'd want if I'm signing a player. But he reminds me of Mahrez actually quite a lot. So I wonder if Mahrez ever moved on, that would be a like for like, but again, I don't think Leeds fans would be happy with me saying
players
that.
like him with that sort of quality, when they go to the Etihad and they know that, like Pep Guardiola standing on, you want to impress him.
Will he play on his side?
You catch his eye. There's an opportunity here. He'd be a drift right outside, stand right next to Pep, and you show him all the quality he has. You know, and I'm sure he hasn't gone unnoticed. No stones unturned for Guardiola in his preparation. Yes, he knows deep down that he's got an opportunity to beat this side. If his team played well, they beat Leeds United. But he still addresses every fine detail. And this boy would have been mentioned in that team meeting time and time again. They know what he does. Gets the ball on the right, he drifts inside, and he sees a pass. He's a real threat. He's a fantastic size. He's good pace. I think he's going to step upwards.
Aside from him, what do they have to do well to get any kind of result tonight? Pray.
Is that what you said?
They won there last year, Tim.
I think as well, I just think... I just think it's going to be too hard for him. I think, look, it's going to be goals galore, it's going to be open. I think Pep's even alluded to he will change his style, and the team has set up because of Leeds, because they're so different. But I just think they'll go player for player, but I just think City will be too smart in how they do combinations and will pop it round them and make them run on that pitch. And after a taxing game against Chelsea, I think it's going to be too difficult.
Well, we know the respect that Pep Guardiola has for Marcelo Bielsa. And remember, he didn't manage to get the better of Leeds in either meeting last season.
Can anybody out there